Welcome to Play Resource Inspiration Channel. Today we're going to make the lantern you see here, and for that you're going to need some willow, masking tape, cling film, plastic tray, tissue paper, PVA glue, a brush, a craft knife, LED lights and garden snippers. The first step today is basically just to cut the willow. What you're after is something roughly 1.5 feet, thereabouts. And the easy way of doing that, you don't have to measure, is just hold these and use them to cut. So what you're after is 4 pieces, and then I'll be sticking these together. And we're going to make a V shape here. This is going to be essentially a pyramid, and I'll be using masking tape, which is easy to put on. And that's essentially stage 1 complete. You're going to get this. The second part of making a lantern is I'm going to introduce a base to the lantern and combine that with the willow. And here's a little tip. If you put masking tape on so it overhangs the end of it, you can squish that with your fingers at the corner and at the other end here. And then what you do is bring up the 2 ends and it'll meet in the middle, or apex at the top here. So if you get another piece of tape and again another squish, it's not strong enough yet. We're going to reinforce these little points at the corners. And then we're going to be adding some little structural pieces in the base here, and that really increases the strength of it. And as soon as you get a few sticks in there and stick them on with some tape, it becomes really strong, very strong indeed. Now it just fits in that place. I haven't measured it, but that's just exactly where it'll go. And I'm just going to check all these joins, and if you squeeze them with your fingers, it actually increases the joint and the strength. And here you have the basis of your lantern. Pyramid is a really strong shape. I'm using pipe cleaners because they're fantastically good for turning into handles. So just get your pipe cleaner and slip it into the lantern and bring it up and twist round. Swing this pipe cleaner underneath and pinch it with your fingers. Now what we're going to do there is add a little bit of tape. And here you have a really simple and really effective little handle. At this stage I'm now going to add the cling film. Now to do that first, a little piece of tape, anchor it to any point on your lantern. If I want to turn a corner, this is actually pretty good, I twist the cling film. I'm keeping a little pressure on here. So when you bind this, I'm going to twist this again to turn a corner. Once is not enough actually in this. You do need to go over maybe 2 or 3 times over the same area. It makes it massively strong. That should be enough. Now I've been around there about maybe 3 times. And to finish, you basically just get your thumb and press that and tear it off. And you'll find that the static in the cling film makes it almost stick to itself. Give it a little pat down. And essentially what you'll end up is like a little glass pyramid. And there you have it. That's that stage complete. So now we're going to add some colour to the lantern, and to do that I'm going to be using tissue paper and PVA glue. But you need it a little bit more runny than that. So I'll add some water. And this big soft brush is actually a very good size for this piece here. Little brushes are no good, by the way, so it's actually get the biggest brush you can. So what you want to do is tear up the tissue paper until roughly about the size of your hand. And if you put little bits on at a time, that's the way to go about it. So the base is wet here. Now I'm going to make a sandwich of wet surface here. And then on top of that, we're going to wet the tissue paper again and quite gently paste it down. And I'm making sure there's plenty of glue on here. You want your paper to be actually soaking. So stick that on there. So say random's the way of doing it. Just stick that in again. You don't want too much tissue because essentially this is a lantern and you need the light to come through this. So if you stick too much on it, it kind of curtails the light there. So when you get to this stage, this is your finished lantern, but just leave this to dry overnight and we'll go on to the next stage after that. So we've got to the final part of the lantern making now, and we're going to put the lights in. To do that, I'm going to have to cut a little door, a little access door, so we can put the lights in there. But this is the only stage I would say that if you get an adult to do this part, because we're going to be using a craft knife. That means you can get your hand in there, put the lights on and off. These little LED lights come with a sticky pad on the base, and there's a little paper tab on it. If you just peel that off, all I'm going to do is press that in and push it down on the base, and that's it stuck. It's not going to move. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of tape here. That just stiffens up the edge of this so it doesn't go all curly on you. It gives a little crease. It just firms this up so it's not floppy, and it just makes the door a bit more substantial. You can put another little bit of tape there, just at the base of it, and what that'll do is cling on to the base, and that basically shuts your little door. So here we have the final product, a really nice, beautiful looking functional lantern, and you can find all the materials that I've used to make this here in Play Resource.